So what is the major difference between autoscaling and load balancing is autoscaling gives us autoscaling gives us like a scalability of the application. Say suppose if the demand or sudden spike of like users come, it can manage that. Okay, so by scaling up the instances. Okay, so whereas load balancer will always redirect the user request to always the user request should be redirected to the healthy instance.
The instance.
So with this, what is the advantage is always the application is highly available to the users. So with that, the application is highly available to the users, and even if any of that application is down, it's going to redirect to the healthy instance itself. It's going to be redirecting to the healthy instance. So that is the main advantage of the load balancer. Okay. And we need to select which type of load balancer we need to choose and which type of auto scaling also we need to perform. Coming to the auto scaling groups, how many types of auto scaling groups we have? So we have two types of auto scaling, vertical auto scaling and horizontal auto scaling. Okay. So mostly for the scalability of the application, what is the best method? For the scalability of the application, what is the best method to choose? So for the scalability of the application, we are going to choose the horizontal scaling. Okay, so vertical scaling will choose if the resources are not enough to run the application, or frequently we are getting out of memory exceptions, or applications keep on hanging, crashing. So these kind of issues comes, then we are going to scale up that application by using vertical scalability. Okay, so in the AWS EC2 we can perform vertical auto scaling by changing the instance size. But in order to change that instance size, we require to shut down the instance. So for one time we need to shut down the instance we need to shut down. Okay. Yeah. So then what are the types of load balancers we have? So what are the types of load balancers we have?
What type?
So mostly we have four types of load balancers. One is classic load balancer. Second one is
Network load balancer,
network load balancer. Third one,
application,
application load
application load,
balancer. Fourth one is
gateway,
gateway
gateway
load
load,
balancer. So these are the four types of load balancers we have. So mostly we are going to use for our web-based applications which load balancer we are going to choose.
application.
Application load balancer. What are the features of the application load balancer? So what are the features of application load balancer? So application load balancer is going to support like a web-based HTTP, HTTPS. It's going to support. Second one is like a path-based routing, URL-based routing, query-based, dynamic kind of routing is possible with application load balancer. The backend targets not only EC2 instances, Lambda also can be attached. Then we can integrate with the web application firewall. User authorizations also can be load balanced. Whereas network load balancer works at which protocol? Network load balancer works at which protocol? At the TCP level and the UDP level, it's going to work. At the TCP level and the UDP level, it's going to work. Okay, so mostly in order to manage other than web-based applications, if you have any other ports need to be load balanced, then we are going to use it. So then we are going to use this one. Okay. So then static IP or elastic IP we can attach to which load balancer. Static IP or zone level isolation is possible for which load balancer. So to the network load balancer only we can attach. And the targets lambda can't be attached to network load balancer. Okay, that is pure application related. Okay, so that's we can't attach. Okay, so then like here we'll use like we'll go for EC2. From the EC2 itself, we can create the auto scaling groups and even the load balancers also. So now if you go for the EC2, say here in the drop down, so we have here the auto scaling groups, load balancers, and the target groups also we have. What is the main purpose of the target group is like at the load balancer decisions, we are taking the decision like based on the rules, load balancing rule, to which target group we are going to redirect. The similar kind of application, we need to group that into that target group. Okay, so to that specific target group, we need to redirect. Okay, so based on that, we are going to take the decisions. Now, like here, we can create a load balancer and we can create an auto scaling group also. But in order to create that auto scaling group, initially with the application, we required an AMI also. So we required an AMI. And from that AMI also, so as of now, we don't have any application specific AMIs. Then from that AMIs, we need to create launch templates or launch configuration. But as of now, we don't get launch configuration because the accounts created at later point of time, like AWS is not providing those. We can use the launch templates itself. The advantage of the launch templates is we can enable the versioning can be enabled and we can update rollback and different type of like instance options we can choose. So now here we are going to create an auto scaling group. So now here we need to choose the auto scaling group name, but definitely we require a launch template. So we need to create a launch template. We need to select. Okay, so if we don't have the launch template, so we can create from here. So we can create from the launch template. We can create here. Okay, so as of now it's not supporting launch configuration. Okay, so we can say here what is the date they have given. After May 31st, 2023, like launch configurations are not allowed. Okay, so only we need to use the launch template, and from here itself we can create a launch template also. So now here we are going to create a launch template, and we can create the multiple versions also. Whereas if you create the launch configuration, again we can't edit that or we can't create a new version. Definitely need to create a new launch configuration itself. We need to create. So launch template, launch configuration is the template kind of thing. If auto scaling group is creating that multiple instances, for all that we require the reference, those details we are specifying in the launch configuration or something. Then once we create this launch template or launch configuration, like here we need to choose, like as of now we don't have any launch configurations, but from the AMI we need to select that. Okay, so now here we need to give the template name. Okay, so, but before that, with the application, like you take a template and give the version of that also. So with the time also, today date you can take, and if any changes comes after 1 week, then at the image level itself we are going to modify. So as of now, like we are, I'm taking this Ubuntu itself, but with the application you take the template. Okay, so instance type, so all these you can include as the template or at the time of instance creation we can choose. Okay, so key pair also we can include here, instance type what you want. Okay, if you don't select all these, where we can choose? say network settings, which available zones, which security groups, all these we are packaging at the template level. If we don't select there, so what we can choose
Essentially.
at the time of auto scaling group, we can select those options. At the time of auto scaling group, we can select those options. So then we can choose the EBS volumes also. Okay, all these we are going to select. So once we select these options, as of now I'm not keeping, but which of the things you required we can keep in the template also. So then once this launch template has been done, then I'll go to auto scaling, and we can maintain even the versions of that auto scaling groups also we can create. Okay, so then I'm going to create an auto scaling group. Say my web server auto scaling group. Then I'm going to choose the launch template. We have created this template with the version, right? So as of now, we got the version 1. Later, we can create multiple versions also, and we can refresh also if hundreds of desktops you no need to update. So single shot we can perform here. So now here in that we can choose the distribution also, how much percentage you want like on demand, how much percentage you want spot also. So with this we can reduce the cost also. So with this we can reduce the cost also, we can reduce by choosing that like maybe 30% or 40% of the workload can be spot instances. Okay. So these kind of options also is not supported. Maybe 60% or 70% on demand, some of the persistent workloads, and even 40% maybe spot instances we can choose. With that, we can reduce the cost also. Okay, so then like if you choose the spot instances, always I'm choosing the lowest price. Then like with the cheaper price, I'm going to get that. And as we didn't choose these options from the So
Template.
from the like the template, we are getting these options. If you don't choose there, here we can choose. Say even for the multiple auto scaling groups also, we can use the same template. At that moment, don't include because another auto scaling group want to use same network we can use. Okay. So now here I'm going to choose always better to choose minimum two subnets. And if you are using the custom and you want to create a public internet base, then definitely keep two public subnets mandatory. You need to keep that. That means at the VPC level also we need to design the subnets, public subnets, private subnets, all those. But as of now we are using default, right? That's the reason we are getting these. And here always we can choose like say suppose you are going to create 10 instances, we can choose the available zone distribution also. Okay, so balanced best effort, that means it tries to keep both in that like in both the zones it's trying to keep. If you choose balanced only, then it will try to keep in say, if launch fails in one availability zone, autoscaling will continue to attempt launch in the unhealthy available zone to preserve the balance. But best effort, will launch like say suppose it tries to keep the balance kind of among the multiple zones. But if one fails, then it tries to keep in the another healthy available zone. It will try to launch. Okay, so these like we need to choose, and like here we didn't selected that instance types. Okay, so that is the reason we are getting this. Otherwise, we can choose the instance types also. We can select. Okay, so how much like maximum CPUs, minimum CPUs, all these we need to specify. Based on that, it's going to select that types also. Okay, so then So now we can attach to a load balancer also we can attach. So we can attach to a load balancer also we can attach. So here attached to an existing load balancer or attached to a new load balancer also we can perform. Okay. So as of now we are not creating a load balancer, but in the real production workloads for the high availability and high scalability, we'll have a load balancer. The backend to that we have an auto scaling group. Okay, so then here recovery, these all will discuss automatically. If any available zone goes down, automatically those are switching to another zone, and we can check the health checks also. And what is the health check grace period or warm up time? 300 seconds. In which scenario you're going to increase this? In which scenario you're going to increase this one?
If the application takes much time,
Yeah, say suppose you have tested your application, it is taking startup time of that application is more. At that moment, try to increase that duration. Okay, if that application duration is more, then like we need to enable. And here, if you enable turn on EBS health checks, also is going to check that health checks. And if with the load balancer level also we have the health checks. By configuring those health checks, what is the advantage we are getting is if any of the health checks fails on that instance, it automatically is going to remove that server from the auto scaling group, and a new instance is getting created automatically. So if a new instance is getting created, automatically is getting created. So that is the main advantage of using like a health checks also with the auto scaling. Okay, so now here very important one is so we need to specify desired capacity, minimum, maximum, and like a desired minimum, maximum. I'm going to keep two, and minimum I'm keeping one. Then say if we keep here one, it won't take because maximum should be more than equal or greater than desired. So here this is also minimum should be equal or less than desired capacity. Then I'm going to keep minimum 3. I'm going to scale up. Then here we can choose that like scaling policies. So we can choose the target tracking policy. We are going to choose say in this average CPU utilization we have these metrics. So based on like the metrics we have memory we don't have. Don't tell memory when you are auto scaling. Say we have related to CPU, network input, network output, and application load balancer request count. Application load balancer request count. So based on this, we are going to scale up. So based on this, we are going to scale up these resources. Okay, so then like here we have like even the maintenance also how the servers need to be replaced. Say if the high availability is important, choose this option. That means we have 4 instances. Then like another some any of the update or rollback need to happen. First it is creating a standby kind of instances. After that is going to delete the older. What is the advantage with that? The instances are first creating first. After that, it's going to delete the old version of those. Okay. So with this, what is the advantages? Priority is more important. Disadvantages, it's little expensive kind of thing, but that's not a uh, huge amount. Maybe for 5 to 10 minutes, you have that billing would be there. But if that is the constraint, then what we are doing? Terminate and launch. Say terminate and launch you are going to perform. Or we can choose even our own custom behavior also we want. Mostly for the high available applications, choose this launch before terminating the maintenance policy. Okay. So these and even we'll do the scaling, enable the monitoring, okay, and enable insta warm up also. Okay. So these all the options. It's less than only, right? Still it is not taking. So
Mm,
desired is 0, that is the reason it's not taking. So then we can send a notification also by configuring a notification with the SNS topic. We can send an email also. Okay, so try to add a notification here also with the with your email. Create one topic. So with that, what is the advantage is if any of the instance is auto scaled, okay, it's automatically is going to create that. So now if we go to the EC2 instances, once we create this auto scaling group, so based on the desired number, that instances are getting increased. So in this that instance type, that is the reason what is the best practice is in the template itself, choose instance type also. I'll try to go to templates. So here in that we have the launch templates we have. Normally here launch configuration, here this is our launch template. So in this we didn't choose in the, so I'm modifying the template with the newer version I'm going to modify. So with the instance type, I'm keeping here, and here itself I'm going to keep the instance type also. I'm keeping T3 micro. Then we are getting a newer version of the template we are creating. Okay. Then if I go for that auto scaling group, so that auto scaling group not like created, but here we can create again we can specify these all the details, and version 2 you choose in the drop down. So like this, maintain the multiple versions of that. And what is the AMI we are taking? With the web-based application, you take the AMI. So don't take default one. With the web-based application, try to take the AMI. But if I creating auto-scaling groups, users doesn't know those IPs. Users doesn't know those IPs. Then what is the solution we have? We need to attach all these auto-scaling groups to a load balancer. So that is the reason here we are going to create a load balancer. We are creating. So we are creating here a load balancer. We are creating. Okay. So then in that load balancer, so here we can create a load balancer. Mostly we have application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer. If you come down, say classic load balancer, that is a old generation or previous generation load balancer we have. Mostly which type of load balancer we are going to use is application load balancer for our applications. Okay, so then here we are going to create an application load balancer. We need to give the name. Okay, so we need to give the name. So then we can create either internet facing or internal kind of load balancer we are going to choose. So mostly for the internet base, within the VPC you want to access, then we are using internal. But for the internet facing, we are using. So we'll have a public address. We have DNS name. With that we are going to connect, and which zones we want also we need to select, those subnets, all these also we need to design, and we need to enable the security group also to the load balancer. So definitely mostly we'll open 443. So these kind of ports we are going to open. So those ports we are going to open there. Okay, say if you use the default the security group, it doesn't open. Hence, which of the ports we need to open that load balancer level, open that port. And this listener is like on the target level. Say your application is on 8080, then take 8080. Your application on web 80, then choose 80 here. And here in the listener setting itself, we are redirecting to mostly with the target groups. So what is the target group is, like before that we need to create a target group, and that servers we need to attach here. So that means we need to create an instances, and add them into the target groups, and here we are selecting, if the user hit that load balancer, based on the listener rule, it is redirecting to, based on the listener rule, it is redirecting
Yes.
to the target, it is redirecting. You got it right? In the target group, what we need to keep? In the target group, what we need to specify? So we need to add that similar kind of application servers, we need to keep. So now here we are going to create a target group, or from the load balancers also we can create the target group, and even we can give the weightage also, first to 40%, 60% like this, we can choose. Okay. So then I'm going to create a new target group. Okay, so here which target group we have, before that we can add a target group, and that we can add here. So we can add that. Say, then even we can enable with the CloudFront and application web application firewall. But these features comes for only for the application load balancer only. Web application firewall can be there. Okay, so we need to set up that web application firewall also. We need to configure for the application. Say that's application level, even bot protection, like even lot of bots used by these all we can integrate, and even we can integrate with the CDN also. Say CloudFront also we can integrate. These all we need to specify. But here the important one is we need to configure the rules. Okay, so what are the rules is, say now if someone hit that load balancer with the port number like 80, redirect to one particular target group. If that is 8080, then redirect to another target group, or if it is a path, this path, like if the application comes with this path, redirect to this target group. If the application path is another path, then redirect to another. So these rules are called as, these rules are called as like here in the listener settings we are going to configure. That means load balancer will listen those requests, and based on that listener settings, it is going to redirect
Okay.
to that like target group. It is going to redirect, and it need to like understand the load balancing algorithm also. Okay, so what is the load balancing algorithm used by this? So application load balancer is going to use round robin algorithm it is going to use. So it is going to use the round robin algorithm it is going to use for this. Okay, and if you don't create here this target groups before itself from here also we can create the target groups. So here we can choose the target groups. In the target groups, like we can have instances or IP address, lambda functions, application load balancer we can attach. Okay, so for network load balancer, lambda function is not possible. For application load balancer, we can't attach a network load balancer. But for a network load balancer, the target can be even an application load balancer. But don't keep only one instance. Okay, so here we need to create a target group and load balancer. What we are just doing is we have a security group, web application firewall, CloudFront. Then user request comes to that Route 53 to load balancer. Then load balancer will take the decisions based on the rules, and it is going to redirect it to that particular target group. In the target group, that application should be there, and that health check is going to keep on checking whether that application is not working. And if that application is not working, what is happening? That server is removed from the load balancing, and even if it is an auto scaling group, that would be removed from the auto scaling also. Then like auto scaling will recreate again a new instance, depends upon the minimum, maximum, and the desired capacity. I hope you got it right. And we don't take the static website kind of applications. If you have only a static website, it's recommended directly to use S3 bucket also instead of the web servers. Instead of the web servers, directly we can take static websites also. We can take S3 bucket directly, or we can keep the multiple web servers also. For the application, mostly we may use internal based load balancers we can use. Okay, then backend we have is the backend to that like application server. What we'll have is database we have. So for that purpose we are going to use RDS. So now here we have a relational database service. Mostly we need to take an EC2 instance. On top of that we need to set up the databases, but if we go for the AWS environment, what is going to happen? Like we can use the managed service of the RDS, and here we can create an RDS also. We need to create so for the application teams, for the dev, QA, staging, and production, we required database servers are required, and those database we are going to use RDS instances. Okay, the backend to that application server RDS, and which subnet mostly you are going to keep for RDS servers. Which subnets you are going to choose for RDS servers? Public subnet or private subnet? Where we need to keep the databases, public subnet or private subnet? So mostly RDS we shouldn't keep in the public subnets. We need to keep in the We need to keep it
private sub.
in the private subnets. Okay. So these try to create different engines. Say suppose your RDS supports almost seven type of engines we have. So it depends upon our project requirement. So we need to choose which type of database we want. So now here if you go for the engine type, say we have Aurora, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, then Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle. Say they used to support even IBM DB2 also. They stopped. Say depends upon our project. Say we need to choose which type of engine we need. Okay. So this is very easy setup. Like try to create different type of engines also. But don't choose very high-end instance types. Like choose the minimum, like free tier eligible itself. We need to choose. Okay, so for that our application, even we require the database also. For that, what is the database service we are using? RDS. So just like how you created an instance, try to create MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, or micro for free tier they may not give an Oracle. Try to check in another region. Okay, so try to finish these RDS videos also, and try to do by own like that complete auto scaling load balancer. By taking an application, try to perform this. Okay, and I'll share some DevOps related also. I'll share one or two videos. Those also try to parallelly finish. And what is the load balancer DNS we got? That's we need to attach to. Say here if you go for the route 53, we need to attach it. So you need to go to route 53. So we need to create a hosted zone here. Say registered domain is not that. So we need to create the hosted zone. Then here your domain name. So once you create this hosted zone, by default we are getting two records. Start of authority and authoritative name servers also will get. Then while creating a new record, we need to choose the alias here, and here we need to choose either application load balancer or network load balancer. Like this here we can choose this. So mostly that application load balancer we are redirecting. Then if the user clicks on that endpoint, it's going to redirect to that load balancer is going to do. Okay. So this application flow, how to design the networking, how to design the like database, how the high availability need to design, all that like people will ask us in the interview. So for that also I shared one video that also finish once, and DevOps I'll share one more video that also try to finish. Okay, and everyone need to come with the complete solution. You try to come. Okay.